Hello, my name is Shetland. Welcome back for another episode of Ep19 as Finland. In previous episode, I believe we incorporated both of these states, and actually the turmoil in East Karelia has already gone down. There's a bit of turmoil in Kola Peninsula, but that's slowly being taken care of. I'm sure of it, and I think we are at least, we've got the sulfur mines in there now, which are actually employing quite a bit of people. Are we actually selling any of that? I do wonder. Not directly. The paper mills, synthetic plants, fertilizer plants and all that are using a good chunk. We've got quite a bit extra right now. We're not importing any. So that actually does mean that our... Oh, right, there we go. We've got the Italian interest activated, so we can start improving relations with the Italians. We've got neutral relations with them right now, but it might be a good idea to get some good stuff in there. I wonder, Sweden... No, I don't think we can still get any sort of deals with you. And the guarantee independence would be handy. But I don't know if that's going to be sufficient, quite frankly. And I don't know what we could do with them to actually make them take that. Right, we've got a shorter fabric, so I don't think they want that. They might want some luxury clothing. We do also have a little bit extra meat, actually. And some steamers. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put in some, what was it, luxury clothing? Yeah, luxury clothing there. We transfer like 40 a week. Plus 5, but that's not enough, actually. We can't owe an obligation right now. I suppose for the citizenship, no. Can't really do the laws. You know what? Yeah, I don't think this treaty is going to happen. Never mind. Well, in the meanwhile, the private sector is building some more stuff in the Dutch market. A whole lot of things in there, actually. Also, some more trade centers by the looks of it. Our population is steadily increasing, now about 71,000 a year, which is not too bad, of course. Unfortunately, a lot of that is just congregating in our capital city, which it is admittedly our industrial hub, so it makes sense. I was kind of hoping that we would be able to get a little bit of workforce elsewhere as well. Hey, debate success, there we go. So that's 25% chance now to go forward. I think another thing we should perhaps consider is getting another construction sector somewhere. We'll get that down here in Kuopio, because that's going to be another location that we can then... I mean, we've got the steel mills, we've got a lot of iron mines in here, so we can get the iron fairly cheaply. So the construction cost isn't going to be too bad. We can start increasing the total construction speed a bit further, because investment pool is still fairly sizable. And of course, that's mostly when we are also building. Otherwise, it's not necessarily going to be growing all that much. Oh, and there's... Umberto against Britain. They're not part of the Supreme Alliance. Right, there we go. So our relations with the Italians are growing. I don't know if there's going to be much use for us from them directly, but perhaps they could be another source of support against the Russians. Defensive pact now, they would probably not take that. Well, investment, right, that would give us a little bit of chance. No, I doubt that's going to happen. Oh dear, we've got a flood. Affecting pretty much all our states right now. That's not good. I wonder, actually, if we were to get the coal from their market, like, let's say 600, and we give them investment rights in exchange, there's a 55% chance that they would take that. What else would there be? Something that they want to kind of get rid of, that we might need. I mean, we don't need a whole lot of iron. Doesn't really need a whole lot of liquor either. They've got a whole lot of merchant marine. They might accept a little bit of that. Got plenty of sugar and sulfur tools. We actually got plenty as well, and wood. We maybe get a bit of tobacco, actually. That would be 13. Is there anything that I could transfer to them, maybe? That I have that they don't. Got a lot of the paper. They do need quite a bit of rubber in their market. They also need a bit of meat. You know what, we'll go ahead and transfer... if we transfer so small amount, it won't really make a much of a difference, so we'll just cancel the meat. Maybe we'll actually do the trade privileges with Britain. So that's now 82%. Let's see if that goes through. Got a good chance, right? There we go. So now we're getting a little bit of stuff from them, especially the coal. It should then mean that we need to import a bit less from other nations directly. Oh yeah, we've got a massive surplus of coal right now, which does of course mean that the trade isn't quite as effective, but I'm sure that that's going to balance out fairly shortly. Oh, well, we failed a debate. Yeah, the problem is, of course, with this protected speech, the debates are more than half the chances there. Ooh, right. We got the fertilizer plant. It's not fully profitable right now, but we do need that. There's a decent bit of demand for the fertilizer. I suppose we just recently got it built, I reckon. Fairly recently, anyway. There we go. Now that we've got a surplus of coal, we've got plenty of the tools. I actually wonder, perhaps we should do some similar deals with other nations where we could get the things that we desperately need. Like grain. Who's the leading producer of grain? China. Germany's pretty good as well. Okay, you know what, Germany? You'll be the breadbasket of my nation. I want some grain from you. Oh, you're not willing to... Oh, you got a short... Okay. I guess it's going to be China then that we need to do that deal with. Assuming that they are at least willing to do... Oh yeah, they're willing to sell me grain. They got 2,000 extra in there. How much are we missing? Let's actually have a look at the... The trade centers already bring 900. Let's say we bring in 500. And then give them investment rights. That's not going to be quite enough. I guess we're going to give an obligation as well. So that would give us a good 80% chance. That way we can start getting in some cheaper grain in here. Hey, there we go. And that should then start reducing some of the reliance on the world market as a whole and rather relying on certain partners with trade. It's actually the first time I'll use the treaties to get resource back and forth, but seeing that this is the first playthrough that I'm doing with the latest patch, so yeah, it's all the latest DLC and all that. So, well, without the DLC. But anyway, there's a lot of things to learn. Oh, there we go. We've got about 10 to 1 on the radicals to loyalists right now, so that's pretty good. And the population is still steadily increasing, I reckon, especially with the... Well, we've got standard of living now, 16, wow. We are actually top 3, just behind Sweden and Cuba. Right above Australia as well. It probably flips around every now and then, but yeah, we've got almost 11 million GDP, so it's still steadily growing. It's not a huge amount yet, but it is growing. And the private sector is building, oh, explosive factory in Mauritania. And then 2 food industries, artillery foundry in Mauritania, another steel mill, another tooling workshop. So there's a lot of stuff in there. Oh, and law debate success. There we go. Back to 24%. Yeah, it's going back and forth quite a bit in there. But now we're at 11 million. Good. Should be reaching, actually, yeah, we'll be reaching 3.5 million by the end of this year. I was about to say month, but that's not exactly correct. Hopefully the flood is ending soon. At least 8 more months to go. Oh, wow. That's a huge impact on the infrastructure, but yeah, I suppose there's not much I can do about that. Now, we do have some really cheap transportation available in here. In Oulu, at least. Which is actually kind of handy. I don't suppose there's a whole lot of things that can utilize that, is there? Might build a fishing wharf over here just in case. Just to provide a little bit extra food producing things. Oh, there we go. Health system is now level 4. Excellent. So that should be even faster growth. We do still have a bit of points that we could push into law enforcement, for example. Is the, well, there's still a little bit of radicals in, or turmoil in Kola. And GDP is at least improving there slightly. It looks like the population's actually improving finally. With decent speed. The standard of living is still 9.3, which is not huge. But I suppose, since the population is so small, it's not really dragging down the standard of living average, at least for us. Now, I don't suppose... No, we don't really need more logging. What we definitely do need more is some more rye farms. I'm going to build 2 rye farms in East Karelia. I'm going to actually have these just be single crops so we can get the most grain out of it. Because the grain is still in a huge demand. Although, I suppose we've reduced the imports now because we are importing quite a bit from... the trade route, I believe. Yeah, good trade. So we're getting 500 from that treaty. So that already gives us a pretty good amount. But the trade centers are still buying a whole lot of it. But yeah, so if we can start maybe reducing the reliance on the grain from elsewhere, that might actually help the situation. Hey, low process study, finally. Looks like the Dutch are having a bit of a fight going on elsewhere. Oh yeah, most of the radicals are in the Kola Peninsula. A little bit in East Karelia and West Karelia, but that's about it, really. And the loyalists are mostly in our, you know, Finnish territories, I guess. Right, there's the... Oh, right, getting the fishery already at Oulu, and then we'll also be getting the steel mill built by the private sector in our capital. Still are making money. We've got 2.2 billion gold reserves right now, which is not too bad. In fact, it's kind of starting to be good enough that I could maybe even just reduce the taxes, quite frankly. I mean, okay, maybe not. It would be minus 10,000 right there. I'm going to go ahead and build another university, just to get a bit more innovation in here. Just add that to the construction list. So there's going to be a bit of food production, or like ingredients of food production, I guess. We've got the explosive shortage as well. Unfortunately, that's something that I can't really do too... Well, I suppose I could subsidize the building. I don't know if that would be really viable, though. Because the world market does have a little bit abundance of it already. Yeah, there's a lot more exports into the world market than there is imports from it. So it would not really be that much worthwhile to try to export it. Of course, we'll be needing some of the explosives soon enough once we get the dynamite, which is still quite a far away, actually. It's about halfway done, actually. Hey, a lot of advances, not another plus 15% chance there. So corporatism in society is nearly done, so that will start reducing the radicals from political movements a little bit. I don't know what's going to be after that, actually. There's still quite a few options, and the steel frame buildings wouldn't be too bad. We're going to focus on the military research, though, so it's going to be a bit random what we get there. Looks like the relations with Italy is at least growing quite steadily. And it looks like intelligence I still only have 10% of the clout right now, which is not ideal. And of course, these days you can't just support the interest group directly. You need to support the political movements. I don't actually know which political movements are you supporting then. Plus, we don't have the authority for that anyway. I don't think they are actually in support of any of the movements. Like, it seems rather... Yeah, no, I don't think they are. Okay. Oh. Right, Britain started to conquer some Ethiopia. Oh yeah, they've got a lot of stuff in here. They're fighting against Harar. They've also taken a decent chunk of Egypt, and of course they've taken a good chunk of Tibet and China. They have Korea in their, oh, what's the subject? Yeah, Britain's pretty, terrifying, I will admit. And of course then we've got the, USA and Confederates over here. I wouldn't say necessarily happily coexisting in here, but they are coexisting. I'm so glad that we got the independence. Now, admittedly, our truce with the Russians might be ending soon. Now, oh, there we go, self-prepared torpedoes. Good. And now we are starting to research the trench works, which is going to be several years to research that. Actually, but yeah, we're getting these. We might need to go through the military tech quite a bit. I don't know if we'll even... Well, no, we've still got quite a bit of time, actually. No, we're only 51 years into the playthrough, so we've still got some time to go before we run out. Well, close to 52, I guess. Now we're getting another university. Perhaps we'll go out and just build some more extra universities. If nothing else, it's going to allow us to get the innovation up a little bit further. Opposition members put forth demands. Intelligence will lose a little bit of approval, but we get 10% success chance. Or intelligentsia gets a little bit... Oh, right, we lose success chance. No, we'll just take the small hit on the intelligentsia. They'll still be mostly happy. That's going to give us up to 49% chance, so we can actually pass the projected speed, hopefully. Right, so we've got a university built over there. We'll get another one over here. Perhaps we'll even get a second one in our West Karelia, and even one in East Karelia. I'm not initially going to build one in Kola. I don't think there's going to be enough population to really warrant that. But basically, we're spreading the universities around a little bit just to make sure that there's enough qualifications for any factories and whatnot. Or, well, any buildings, really. And then mostly focus down over here, our capital region, to increase the amount of universities total. So actually, how many do we have now? Oh, right, the barracks also should get the advanced tactics. Good. Right, so universities. We've got 12, we've got another 6 underway, so that's another 50% increase on the, well, 50% on the extra innovation that we're getting. But at the same time, we might want to get another 2. So we'll go and build another 2 universities down here. That's get us to 8 in our capital. As well, just for good measure, we'll... I don't know if we need to build another paper mill, actually. It'll probably be fine. I mean, the private sector is probably going to be building some anyway. Perhaps we'll go ahead and build another construction sector. Actually, we'll build one more in Oulu. Build that real quick, so we'll get 210 construction speed total. just to slowly increase the overall speed or acceleration of our economy. Socialist internationalism. Oh, German socialists are welcome here. Momentum will be added to the Finnish party. Communist ideology will be more likely to appear in our country. You know what? Sure. Wait, so is German... Hold on a minute. They got a communist movement. They do have... Oh, governing Kaiserreich. Right. They got petty bourgeoisie in power, and then they got some opposition in there. So yeah, they got a... Kaiser Wilhelm over there. They're number 2 in the great powers. Or in terms of prestige, actually. I'm pretty sure Britain's the number 1. There we go. The construction sector in Oulu is almost done. That's going to increase the construction speed just a tiny bit more. We've got a bit of standard of living issues down here in East Karelia and Kola. We're kind of stalled at 11 million GDP right now. Oh, there's the corporatism. And pretty Senegal is improving relations. Okay. So how's the votes looking like right now? The Finnish party is looking to, well, most likely getting 55%. I don't suppose there's any changes on the who's in which party. No, not really. Perhaps eventually, but not for the time being. So getting the... Oh, right. Building 2 universities at the same time. Authorial intent. Right, okay, so we're going to either take a hit on the momentum. Or we'll take a hit on the momentum anyway. But we'll go for the... maybe get that particular leader. We'll reduce his popularity, actually. That might then reduce the industrialist power in general, which might then make it a little bit easier to pass some of the laws. Oh, that's actually reliant on the church. Never mind. And oh, there's another lead mine being built in our capital. Oh, there we go. And a logging camp in West Karelia. Alright then. So there's a lot of industries being built. Now, we don't own most of our, well, all of our GDP, but that's fine. They're friendly nations, for the most part at least. It looks like, oh yeah, both of the corporations that we do have 100% or 100% prosperity. So that should already help a little bit when getting some of the stuff. Grassroots support for the law. Oh. I'm going to take the boost for the intelligentsia right now. Well, intelligentsia is not in the government. At least their support would still be handy. Or making them a bit stronger would be handy. Land of plenty. I don't really want to increase the... I'm assuming that this is the leader of the church. I don't want to give the leader of the church momentum or popularity. I'm just going to give the momentum to the Finnish party. There we go. Another university about to be completed. We'll be getting up to... Actually, I'm not entirely sure how much innovation we'll have. Probably a decent bit, though. But the idea is to try to get the trench works and, you know, some of these things over here quickly. So we can then potentially defend against the Russians a bit easier. Oh, and Britain took Delhi from British Raj. Right, then are you just expanding your... Yeah, it's just slowly expanding over here. Directly, all the areas held directly by Britain. Alright, then. Now, how's the population? It's already 3.5 million. It's almost 77,000 a month, or not month, a year. That is increasing. Tumultuous campaign. I was campaigning for the British Party in the turmoil Rex Caller. Harold Letby has been attacked and brutally beaten by a group of unknown assailants. Oh, we're going to reduce the momentum. Yes, we shall go ahead and reduce the momentum. So the Young Finnish Party and Finnish Labour Party are probably not likely to be getting enough votes to be able to form a government. It would be handy to have both of these in government for a while at least. Of course, intelligence is not influent or powerful yet, which does limit our options to some degree. The standard of living is doing pretty good. The literacy rate is still 70%, so that kind of stalled for the time being. And the GDP is, well, it's now 11.2 million. Once we get the dynamite, I'm pretty sure that's going to increase it a decent bit. Which, well, it's still going to take a little while. In society, we're getting, oh, pan-nationalism. Okay, that's actually quite handy. That gives a bit more authority, which we have some shortages from time to time on. That should be pretty good. Oh, building some more ports by the private sector. Mostly in Central Java. Okay, we're also building a food industry in Eastern Java. And furniture manufacturing in West Karelia. Okay, I mean, you know what, I'll take that one. And then a logging camp at the peninsula. So is that one, I suppose there's still a little bit unemployed in here. I suppose since the farm over here isn't necessarily the most effective. Who owns this one, actually? Oh! There's a Dutch owner on this farm. Okay. Yeah, we've got plenty of sulfur right now. We're not using too much of it, though. God's will. Oh, right, there's the election. Production speed captured is public. We can get plus 15%, or we can get more popularity for trade unions. And plus 10%. I guess we'll take that one. But once we're leading into the trade unions a bit further. So, what could we get as a government? I think this is still the best that we can really hope for. And there's another university about to be completed. Still quite a few of them being built, but it's nonetheless, it's going to increase the research speed at steady pace. It's not going to be like a huge boost in there, but over time, once all of those have been built, it should be another 10 points or so. From where we started, which was about, I don't know, 69 or somewhere thereabouts. The military, why is actually spreading right now? Oh, it's the trench works. Oh, there we go. So there wasn't actually anything spreading. Oh. Huh. Well, now there is, and that is actually speeding up the trench work quite a bit. Yeah, there we go. So we can get the better infantry. That's going to be very important. To hold off the Russians. Because I have a feeling that they might be willing to, or interested in attacking us again at some point. We still have a truce with them for 14 weeks. Oh, I think at this point we might need to look for some treaties to maybe do to get some either defensive pacts or guarantee independence from some nations. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's going to be anyone willing to give me that. It seems like it's probably going to be quite unlikely. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a good chance that we can, if they do declare war on us, we might be able to negotiate with other nations to maybe get them to help me. Of course, if we can get the trench infantry, that's also going to help us a little bit with the holding the line, admittedly. There's nothing else than just go for a white peace, essentially. Although, these gold mines over here would be tempting. Also, the coal mine over there would be quite tempting as well. To maybe not be as reliant on imported coal as much as we are right now. Although, we're getting some decent, you know, amount of coal from the British right now. The transfer treaty, how much was that actually? Yeah, 600 from that treaty alone. Let's be honest, it's not too bad. Oh, Harold Ledby has died. Pleasant movie has been disbanded and law process to voting. Did we actually manage to get the homesteading at some point? We did, okay, good. I suppose the peasant movement doesn't have a whole lot to do after that. Right, we just need to get one more success on the protected speech, and then we'll have that as another one for the housing laws that we need to do. There's another university about to be built in Oulu, and then one in Kuopio, one in West Karelia, East Karelia, and then 2 in our capital. And after that, we might want to figure out something else to build. I mean, the groceries, are those still producing full steam? No, this one... Oh, they need more glass, actually. Okay, we might go ahead and build a glass works down here, then. Just to increase the glass production, really. Now, of course, that's going to be immediately then privatized, but that's alright. Oh, we're getting another trade center. How many trade centers do we have at this point? We've got 32 in our capital. It's fully staffed. They're still doing a whole lot of trading in here. I suppose since we now control our own market, it is a bit more important for us to control all of this, or not control all of this, but have a whole lot of trade going on. Now, we do have a little bit of lack of merchant marine right now. We could maybe go ahead and build another port, actually. Seems like it might be rather worthwhile. I'm actually going to build that before the glassworks. There we go, closing up on 3.6 million population already. So the population is at least steadily increasing. Unfortunately, unless or until we can manage to get some laws passed that would reduce the citizenship, or get the citizenship laws to be more relaxed, essentially. And then we probably won't be able to get a whole lot of immigration, mass immigration at least, from other nations. But maybe we'll get to the multiculturalism. It's going to be tricky, but we'll definitely try. As, it is one of our goals to get the egalitarian society thing. Good connections. You know what? We'll grant him permission. We need to get this law passed. I mean, it's now less than 2 months for each role, which is not bad. And there we go. The trade center will be done right about now. Oh, we're getting another... Oh! Rubber plantation in North Sumatra. Okay. Trade center in our capital. There's a lot of stuff that's being built in here. Only one of them is admittedly being built in our capital. Oh, another trade center. Okay, so there's more and more trade centers being built. Well, I suppose trade is quite profitable, judging by the number. Oh, the weekly balance isn't that great, actually. They don't have a whole lot of cash for us right now. And admittedly, with the trade deals that we've done with some other nations, that probably has actually hindered our profitability in here, especially with the coal and the grain imports. But at the same time, it does give us a bit more room to do other trades as well. But there we go. Literary rate is slowly starting to climb up again. And standard of living is starting to be pretty good. I mean, it's still pretty bad in the Kola Peninsula. It's about 9. And the minimum expected is 9.5, which is not ideal, actually. We do have the railway there. I suppose, actually, with the railway in place, we could go and put the rail transportation over here. So Sulfur Mine is going to have a bit more population or workers available and production available overall. Which then probably means that some of them might... Oh, actually, the rye farm is doing pretty decent now. So that's good. And we've got 11.7 million now in GDP. Lovely, right. Okay, we could get the extra prestige, or we could get support for the trade unionists. You know what? I'm going to take the support for the trade unionists right now, because that might allow us to pass some of the other laws later on as well. If we can strengthen them a bit further. Right, so we're having a bit of an issue with the railways down here. There's not enough transportation available. I guess we'll go out and build the railway in Ostrobothnia then as well. I think there used to be more levels, I'm pretty sure, but maybe they removed that at some point. As it wasn't making profit, I reckon. Right, so how does the world look like? Other than Britain taking a whole... Oh, wow, yes, they've taken a whole lot of territories down here in Africa as well. Oh, actually, how's the colonies over here? So we're getting another one in well, about 1,200 days. How's the Dutch colony spreading? That's... oh, so we'll get that before the Dutch get another one of theirs. And, of course, our situation over here is not... like insanely good, but I suppose with the population increasing, we are getting a bit more points, so we produce well, I suppose, yeah, we still need to get the is it the civilizing mission that we need to get, or no, malaria prevention that we need to get, and we're not even, well, it's not spreading to us even yet, although the civilizing mission would be potentially useful. That would allow us to get an extra third on the spread in there, which would still be kind of handy. All the total points produced, essentially. Hey, protects the speed. Tech spread is increased, leverage resistance is reduced, but we can then have guaranteed liberties. But now it's just the multiculturalism that we need to pass, but unfortunately there's no support for it yet. There's a bit of support for, well, no, actually, Parliamentary Republic, there isn't any support. There's the Council Republic, but there's a whole lot of opposition for it, so I don't think that's going to go through. There's the Labour rights, there's the regulatory bodies, I suppose, which we might be able to get. There's, of course, the... Oh, there's the poor laws, actually. Both industrialists and church would support this. It would give us a bit more welfare payments. Food security would be slightly better. It would cost a bit of bureaucracy, but that's not too bad. That would be potentially handy. Gratuity taxation is probably not going to pass right now. We'll hold on to the laissez-faire economy for the current, at least. We're not going to go to state religion. I'm guessing it's, yeah, intelligence is the only one that is really supporting. Well, no, rule folk also supports, but rule folk are marginalized, so they don't really count. But for the racial segregation, to get a little bit more relaxed system over here. Ideally, we'd probably want to get to the cultural exclusion at least. I'll be eventually all the way to multiculturalism, but we need to take it in steps, I reckon. But I suppose right now we'll just go for the poor laws welfare. There's no opposition for it, so we should be able to get that over time. I mean, there's a lot of debates that will probably happen, but at least it's not a guarantee to... Oh. You know what? Petit Porter is going to start losing a bit of their influence now. That seems like it might actually benefit the other parties a bit. Or an interest. You know what? Yeah, we'll get intelligence in the government, sure. I don't know how we managed that, I'll admit. Did it bring in the... No? Okay. Oh, that's actually pretty bad for the legitimacy. Oh boy. Well, you know what? We helped the Swedes, or the Swedes helped us, so, you know what? We'll allow the intelligence to be in the government for now. One of the things that we might want to do, though, is get another construction sector. Or actually, we'll go for 2. You know what? No, we're going to go for 3. We'll build 2 first, and then we'll build a 3rd one later. So that's going to get us to 10 in Corpia, but that also is going to get us to up to 125 total construction speed, which does mean that we'll be having... Actually, 120 would probably be fine. Yeah, actually, we'll go for 120, because that means that we'll be getting 30 production speed total. So we'll go ahead and remove that for now. There we go. So that should increase the construction speed a decent bit. We've still got 53 million and counting in the investment pool. We're not short on cash. Or cash reserves, anyway. There we go, 12 million in GDP. It's slowly increasing. Standard of living is still pretty decent, although, well, at least we're in top 10. Hey, dynamite, finally. Okay, you know what this means. Well, at least I hope you know what this means. First of all, let's go and find the... Oh, right, munition plant, explosive shells. Get that one for sure. An explosive factory will get the vacuum evaporation, which does require a bit more sulfur and a bit more paper and, well, a lot of things, let's be honest. But then we should be able to start utilizing some of those in the mining. A whole lot of coal mines. Actually, is this... Oh, right, most of this is not our... Well, the Finnish Congo will go for dynamite in there. Which I suppose that's about as far as it goes, really. Iron mines, I don't know if we need in there. I suppose the sulfur mines could also get the dynamite. You know what, we'll just do it in everywhere. It might be a bit expensive at first. Yeah, that's quite a bit of demand, but that should also make the explosive factory a bit more profitable right now, which should allow them to hire a lot more people fairly quickly. There's a wee bit of shortage in here. Minus 107 currently. Now, we don't produce a whole lot yet, but I reckon they are going to be able to hire a lot of people, and that should then start improving a lot of the stuff. We'll get a explosive factory in the build queue as well. But I do see that we are actually out of time with this episode right now, so if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check the links down below in the description, but other than that, thank you very much for watching, and next time, bye-bye.